can she
at
be
the
a
end of
fair
that
when though it
path
was a very
is a
clumsy
cabin.
kill?
And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
I'm having a severe sense of deja vu now.
I know what you mean.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the
Have
world.
you ever felt like you've been somewhere before?
A few times. What does it have to do with now?
I'm getting that feeling.
We just started.
Yeah.
So you say. I'm still getting that feeling.
Oh,
I'm getting a terrible sense of deja vu.
A terrible sense of deja vu. No, you don't have that. This is the first time either of us have been here.
I'm gonna need therapy.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. Yes, he didn't approve of us last time, did he? If we're going to save our beloved, we'll have to be sneaky about it.
Who the hell are you?
he's the Smitten.
Our beloved? Yes, you'll have to be very
You're the voice I
sneaky
would
about
never
your intentions if you're going to
voice.
try and save the princess. So all of the cards are on the table. Then you should know that we and the princess are in love, and the four of us will be foiling any and all assassination attempts you've got in the works. We'll see about that. Whatever you do, just be sure to ignore him specifically. It sounds like he's the sort who'd sacrifice the whole world for a peck on the cheek. What can I say? A world without love is a world that isn't worth saving.
You know, I can agree with that. You know, I don't care how much gaslighting is going on here. I'm pretty damn sure this whole thing literally just happened and is happening again.
We could go back and forth on this forever, and it won't get you any closer to doing your job and saving the world. So let's just agree to disagree.
This is not an agree to disagree type situation. Fine. We'll go to the cabin.
A warning before you go any further.
Oh, a warning this time, is it?
She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
Uh-huh.
We already told you we're not playing along with your little game. It's your lies that can't be trusted. Her beauty is the only thing in the world we can believe in.
Uh-huh.
I think we've already been over this. I'm pretty sure he just likes the sound of his own voice.
This could be true.
I do, but I also speak from the heart. My
What heart?
passions are too great to be stifled. They must be expressed.
Uh-huh.
All heart, no head.
Just be careful your heart doesn't shut down on you mysteriously in a minute.
Sure, yeah, your passions are strong and all, but not everyone needs to hear them. Some things are better kept quiet. Don't pay their bickering any mind. Focus on the task ahead. The interior of the cabin is clean and elegant, its stone walls draped in fine threaded tapestries, a prison befitting a royal prisoner. The only furniture of note is an ornate wooden table with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
You know that feeling of deja vu?
Uh-huh.
I think
Yeah.
it's over now.
Oh, okay.
Well, except for a knife on the table. Everything else is completely different. This is a cabin?
Yeah?
I went to a lot of work for a lot of stonework in a cabin. It sure didn't look like this from the outside.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Uh-huh. Yeah, you didn't say anything about that mirror when you were talking.
That's because there isn't a mirror. There's a table, the blade sitting on the table, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here.
It's right there, man!
There's definitely a mirror. There isn't. I'm sure the princess would tell us there was a mirror if she were up here. In which case she'd be lying to you because, again, there isn't a mirror.
Narrator, have you got the wrong script? Why would you lie about that? Why?
Exactly. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What good would a mirror even do? That you waste time preening yourself instead of doing what needs to be done.
Let's do something because the music is starting to pick up a bit in volume here. That mirror's got to be important if the narrator either is lying about its existence or just doesn't actually know that it exists.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny.
I got to agree with the dumbass. This isn't funny.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now.
Uh-huh. What the hell are we?
Good question.
But it was there a second ago.
Where did the mirror go?
There was a mirror?
Yes, there was a mirror. Big, massive, freaking mirror. Kinda went from floor to ceiling almost.
And now it's gone. Pity. We could have a feather out of place, and now we'll never know. We can't gallantly sweep her off her feet if we have a feather out of place.
A feather out of place.
It's a feather out of place.
It was right here. The hell did they put the mirror? Huh.
You take the blade from the table. It will be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. I suppose if we're to play the role of dashing knight, we need an equally dashing sword. That way she'll know we can defend her from her enemies.
If this is your idea of dashing sword, I feel very sorry for her if you do end up on a wedding night with her.
Hopefully it doesn't put her on edge, and hopefully it doesn't get turned on us again. There's no use arguing over motivations right now. It's good that you took the blade. You'll need it to do your job. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an intricate stairwell. Gold-trimmed carpet glimmers in the light of the torches positioned along the walls. The basement almost seems welcoming in the dim firelight.
Uh-huh.
But it's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. A soft voice carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Her voice. It's somehow even more beautiful than last time. I can hear wedding bells already. I've held my tongue till now, but you're taking this a little too far. We barely even know the princess. We can still do right by her without all this over-the-top fawning. Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charms are all part of the manipulation. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall. My love, we're here to rescue you from your unjust and foul imprisonment.
We don't have a key, Smitten.
You know she can't hear you, right? She may not be able to hear my words, but surely she can hear my spirit.
Arcade spirit?
As long as it's not the sequel. Also, that's a big window right there behind her. If somebody actually wanted to lock somebody up forever, I don't think they would put a window that close.
I'm questioning where they were able to put a window in a basement of an attic.
I was about to say, if we went in the cabin, which was on the ground floor of the hill, we went downstairs. How is there a window that can see that much night sky?
Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't come back.
Uh-huh.
Did you hear that? She said we're dashing.
As long as we're not rather dashing. Because that's a different game entirely.
And she called us a hero. Flattery really goes a long way with the two of you, doesn't it? Waiting for you to come back. I didn't want to believe your ravings back in the woods, but this is next to incontrovertible evidence. You've been here before.
No kidding! Good of you to catch up.
That's right, villain, and you killed us. Well, she killed us. Only because he made us try and kill her. It was self-defense. Our beloved's hands remain unstained by cruelty.
You know, aside from telling you to shut up, you do have a point, but still, shut up.
And you've died before. So an entire world has been damned to oblivion. I'd really hoped I'd be the first, but what's done is done. What matters is you have a chance to do it right this time.
Yeah.
We damned a whole world, but everything reset.
You know, I've had the feeling for a while, but this is starting to remind me of another game I cannot mention now. Because I want it to be a future Let's Play, and I want certain people to be blind for it. Or as blind as possible for a game that was made in the around 2014, I think.
Nothing resets, you're just somewhere else. You can't keep hopping between worlds forever. Especially not without leaving a trail of incomprehensible devastation behind you. This is horrible. Horrible for you, maybe, but we've been given another opportunity to sweep her off her feet and treat her like the lady she is. Now, hold on. If she actually ended a world, are you sure we want to do this? Are you sure we want to rescue her?
You know, if she ended a world, and she ended the previous world, this is a different one. Just saying.
We never saw a world end, and now I'm even more certain that we must chase our heroic and romantic destiny than I've ever been. I shan't let anyone convince us otherwise. Are you listening to him? He's lost it. Don't let him distract you. Just do your job.
Let's see. I'm just gonna check something. What happened after I died?
You died, and now we're talking.
Oh, good, you're aware of this. Thank God. Do I have to cut you out again? I didn't really care for that last time.
I'm okay with whatever you come up with. You can cut my arm off again.
We won't be laying a finger on her perfect wrists, and indeed, we won't even have to. Do you see how dainty her hands are? We'll be able to slip her right out with no harm done.
Do you have butter?
What? No, she's a prisoner here. You can't just slip her hand through the chains. Why are you two arguing over the logistics of slipping her hand out of her shackles? She just said she'd be okay with any idea we came up with. Am I the only one here who thinks that's weird?
No.
She didn't care last time. Why should she care this time? That's our stoic, smiling angel. No, you're right. It's extremely bizarre behaviour and further evidence that she's a monster who's not to be trusted. So go ahead and slay her.
You know, narrator, if you would just shut up and let us talk amongst ourselves, you would have a lot easier time getting my trust. If you just calmed down for a minute and didn't keep pushing the idea that killing her was the right thing. Wait a minute, but before we started talking, did the world end? Did you actually end the world?
I don't know. Was I supposed to have ended the world? Would that have made you happy?
Uh-huh.
Isn't that just like our darling princess? She wants to make us happy. My heart melts further with every word that passes through her beautiful lips. Are you listening to her? That's a confession.
It's like, I don't really want the world to end.
Then I didn't
Not
end the
anymore.
world.
See? She didn't confess anything. She is innocence itself. I'm not so sure.
You know, I do have to apologize. The narrator who sent me here to kill you took over my body, and it wasn't exactly fair to either of us. I realize this makes me sound like a crazy man, but hear me out.
If another version of me was pushed to such drastic action, it was for good reason.
That's okay.
Wouldn't-
You were just doing your best, and that's all that matters.
We're naming the narrator George.
Fair. Considering what we just recorded.
She took that in stride. To a surprising extent. An almost unsettling extent, actually. That's because she's perfect. Do you think she has someone like him telling her what to do?
God, I hope not.
She doesn't. There's no one else like me.
Thank heaven for small favors.
I think he's right, because I like it better if she doesn't have some horrid little voice like him, always trying to drive her to violence.
I mean, I know why you killed me, but... Let's actually ask the question, why did you kill me?
I'm sorry. Didn't you want me to?
Not really.
Did we? We warned her of the cruel forces seizing our body. That's practically telling her to kill us. She is our beloved, and she made the choice to free us of our misery, to show us mercy and make the best decision for everyone. She made the best decision for her. Don't be so quick to assign kindness. You're just opening yourself up to manipulation.
You mean like you've been doing this whole time?
No, I can't let you do that. If you take another step towards the princess, You'll what? Take over our body and force us to try and kill her?
Again?
Yes. Not on my watch, villain. My passions contain titanic depths, and if you try anything that might harm our dearest, I will end our life without a second thought. You wouldn't. I would. I'd listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings. And doesn't the world end if we don't stop her? You approach the princess and gingerly slide her hand from her bindings. That shouldn't have worked. I'll be damned. We're doomed.
Why couldn't she do that? Is it a only works if it's funny type situation?
Maybe.
I can't believe it. But I guess I have to. I told you, there's no life more worth living than that of a true believer.
I'm free, and you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a joyful embrace. Ugh. Are you sure you want to do this? Just one slip of the wrist and your pristine blade is buried in her back, and everyone out there is saved.
Shut it, you!
Is that a threat? You know what we'll do if you try it. You're going to regret this.
What do we do now?
Well, what do you want to do?
Let me guess. End the world? Spoken with the rank cynicism of someone who has never felt love in his heart.
I mean, it's a fair question to ask. You've kind of been trapped down here for a long time.
I don't actually know. Nobody's ever asked me what I wanted before.
She doesn't even know what she wants. You may have had her all wrong. What if this whole thing is just a misunderstanding? What if she doesn't want to end the world? You're so gullible. Is the only thing you've ever doubted the actual truth?
Not since I put on the tinfoil hat.
I think I want to leave. And I think...
The princess closes her eyes in deep reflection. And then she shrugs.
I don't know. What do you want to do?
You know what? I just want to leave. We can figure out the rest later.
That sounds perfect.
As the princess takes your hand in hers, you let your blade tumble uselessly to the floor, and with it tumbles the last hope for the entire world.
Look, this is a happy ending.
We have each other. We don't need the world for our happy ending. I like to think that you do, actually. Look, I have my doubts, but the choice has been made and this is happening. You don't have to mope about it. I will mope about it, because moping is the only recourse you love-blind fools have left me with. You and the princess walk up the stairs, hand in hand. Ugh, look at the way she's smiling at you. She doesn't have to be so happy about this.
Look, it's like those Instagram pictures where it's the lady holding the cameraman's hand.
Yeah.
Also,
That's
I'd say she deserves to be happy. She got out of here without having to cut her damn arm off.
And what happens after we walk up the stairs? Let's see. Oh, isn't that interesting? The door slams in your face and the lock clicks.
You dick!
That's a familiar move. Did I do that last time? Then you should know that you won't be able to leave.
Oh no! Did someone lock us in here? That's not fair. We're supposed to leave now.
She's right. It isn't fair. But the unfairnesses of the world are no match for the strength of true love.
You know, we have feathers, apparently. Can we fly out the window?
Enough with this true love nonsense. You just met her. Of course you wouldn't understand. Our passions run deeper than anything you have ever known. Are you listening to this? You don't have to go along with the every whim of that delusional voice.
No, I don't have to go along with the whim of the delusional voice.
I'm just along for the ride at this point.
If the delusional voice wasn't so corny, it'd be tempted to call them ominous.
Yeah, yeah. I think
So-
we can open if we try together.
A lot of pigeons on the
Okay,
power lines
yeah,
out there.
Let's do it.
Fun.
Like a
This is
pair
the sounds of
teenagers in
Lantern
love,
coming home
you
from
and
work.
the princess place your
Not with
hands
a
on
and
the
not with a
door
bag of meat.
Not with a bag of
together.
meat this time.
Blech.
So sneezes like a kitten.
I made a fresh batch of bacon today. I felt less justified stealing it.
Raven says you sneeze like a kitten.
And the lock clicks and the door creaks open. Are you kidding me?
Love conquers all!
I told you our love was insurmountable.
I'm beginning to like the voice of the Smitten a little more.
You and the princess make your way upstairs. Her freedom and the world's ruin are just a few moments away. If you don't mind, I'm going to fix myself a drink before you ruin everything. If I'm about to see the end of the world, I'd rather not see it sober.
I hear Strychnine fixes that.
That's the way out. We're going to leave together, just like you wanted.
Yes, I suppose you are going to do that, aren't you? You cross the room, opening the door to the cabin. And then you step outside. A happy ending at last.
Oh. That since the deja vu is returning.
Don't know what you
Did
mean.
it. What should we do now?
It feels like the walls are closing in again.
Where did everything go? Where did he go? Oh, is he gone? I hadn't noticed. I was too busy staring deep into our beloved's eyes.
I'm cold. Is being happy supposed to be so cold?
I don't think so.
She's cold. Quick, our feathers. Pluck them all and weave her a coat worthy of a princess.
Can't we just kind of wrap her up a little bit?
That looks like something else is wrapping her up.
Yeah. Again, since the deja vu's back.
We don't get a chance to make that jacket. Something has taken her away. And it's left something else in her place.
Huh. There's where the mirror went.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And is that a mirror? Why is it here? Why now?
The narrator's gone.
Yay!
Does that mean the world ended? A villain vanquished.
I keep accidentally hitting the right bounce button. I don't know where she went, and I don't know how we'd even go about looking for her.
You're right. She's gone. It's just us and that awful thing.
It looks like we got wrapped up in a huge bit of hair. Those look like strands of hair to me.
Yeah, I could see that.
I can't believe she was taken away from us. The nerve.
You know, I think I have to look at the mirror.
There's something dreadful about it. I don't think you should.
Maybe it'll disappear like last time and leave us a door.
Yes, I fear that we won't like what we'll see. What if we just sit here and preen for a while? That can't hurt, right? I'm begging you, don't do this.
I don't have a choice.
You approach the mirror. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone. But the mirror remains. It is time for you to see what is in it. It's you.
We have rather piercing eyes, don't we?
You are in a place that is empty. It is quiet here.
What cabin? The game wants me to proceed to the cabin. What freaking cabin?
The cabin over yonder.
Cabin.
You are at the cabin.
I am?
Yes.
Funny looking cabin. That looks like a bonfire made out of arms.
Yeah.
You recognize the presence inhabiting the cell. It is the entity that dwells in the spaces between.
Something returns to the long quiet. It has surrendered its path of annihilation and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
You're the thing I met in the space outside the woods, aren't you? That was a dream, I thought.
Vague recollections, empty tunnels without a mouth. I am sorry if I frightened you.
What are you?
I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you?
At this point, I don't know what I am.
I think that you are like me. We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks.
So, fragile vessel. I'm assuming you mean that the princess's body.
Yes, nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond, perspectives to make my own. This one is soft and delicate. You molded her to love you, and she'll make for a gentle heart.
Molded her?
Do not mourn her. She has served her purpose.
That's a lot of things. Is this the end of the world?
How can the world have ended if we are talking?
Do you know a jerk calls himself a narrator?
You are the only thing I have ever known.
Uh-huh, okay. Still just in my head, got it.
The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us.
So, did you send me to slay the princess? Are you the one that trapped me here?
I have only just now stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free.
Are you the princess?
She is part of me, and part of me is her.
But were you always the princess, or are you just making her a part of yourself?
You speak in circles. Does it matter where one thing begins and another ends?
Yes! Do you know about the worlds beyond this place?
I know only that they are.
I don't think you can let her out of there, so... Okay, what happens now?
Nothing, as we are. But I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom.
Huh. How many more pieces of you do I have to find?
More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite. The rest will find their own way home.
You accuse me of talking in circles. Okay, I'm a level with you here. I was sent to slay the princess to stop her from destroying the world. If I help you, that's what you... Is that what you're gonna do?
You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to remold.
You are being semantic, you know. What are you gonna do if I help?
How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated.
Just in curiosity, what if I don't let you do this to me?
Then we will be here forever, as we are now. Unfinished, dry, hollow.
Okay, I like the fact that you're not actually threatening me with anything. Aren't you scared I'll find a way to kill you?
I have not lived. I am not afraid to die.
That's a good point. Oh, how much will I forget?
Everything. Until we meet again.
Huh. Okay. If I'm going to forget everything, I don't know how I will manage to, bring everything back to you, though. Kind of a quandary. Waiting around, I don't think is going to do anything for me. Though. Well, okay. Make me forget.
She asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Okay, Star, what do we got lined up now?
What do you mean?
I mean, we've just started this game. What's going on?
I don't know. We're on a path in the woods. It's a cabin. We gotta go to the cabin in the basement and get the princess.
That's all there is to this game, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay, fair enough.